Koji Min. Oh, I rolled the dice wrong. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Guess what? It's Armored Core time. It's Armored Core time for about an hour and a half. And then Bruce is going to get on the internet and we're going to play us some Baldur's Gate. I guess he's going to join my campaign because I guess he has a campaign he's got going. Yes. PlayStations have package managers. It's 2 a.m. Do you know where your package is? He'll help me find the prison camp. Campaign has drop in, drop out. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it works. I'm going to guess that like there's a host and it's the host's campaign. And then all the players that join have limited authority in what goes on. I'm curious how the decision making and that stuff will go. I mean, if it's the game seems to be pretty true to it's spiritually true to its D&D roots, which means that if a murder hobo joins your game, they can just fuck it up. Like, could a level 20 just drop in your game, annihilate some very important NPCs and some quest lines for you, and then peace? I guess you can always just roll back your save. You can have a conversation with the DM and agree that whole night doesn't matter. Varshan Resner. Thank you very much for the sub. 14 months of hard gaming. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And in 16, gaming harder than usual with AC6. We'll all be there. 16 days. Oh, shit. I have 16 days to beat 4 games plus whatever's left in this one. It's doable. We'll see how bad the Gen 7 ones are. So let's see here. You can drop in and drop out, but if you drop in progress for the first time, you play as a companion character. Drop in progress. I wonder what that means. I also wondered what the companion character was for, because I designed one and haven't seen it since. Okay. Let's pick up back where I was. So I have to play a specific series of missions to get a particular ending. I'm going for the Evangel ending. I have to do Defend Against Assault. And then it seems like there's a bonus mission after this. See here, you have to take the additional mission to get a rank S. But I don't know if... Like, so far there really haven't been any missions that have specific clear conditions. It's just been do the right mission in the right order. Somebody insisted that there are situations where that does happen, but I haven't seen them yet. Yeah, I was just going with double rifle and missile interlocks. It's a good all-rounder. Let's do Defending Assault.
We've just received reports that a large Alliance force has been detected moving through the sewers beneath one of our main storage facilities.
Oh, because Bruce will be joining your already in progress campaign, he'll only be able to play as characters you found in the world. Okay. So if you want to start a campaign with custom characters, you have to start one. Can you play a campaign without all player character slots being filled? Or once you start a campaign, it's like that many players and it has to be. Hold on. I'm gonna get some more water. With the amount of playtime, would you say Baldur's Gate 3 is more profitable than Diablo 4? Profitable. Do you mean better value? Profitable is tripping me up. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, profitable to whom? I guess. Oh, better value to the gamers. Well, that honestly truly depends on what a person wants to do. You are likely to experience more unique situations, and environments of your own crafting in Baldur's Gate 3. If that's something that somebody values, then yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, they're just different kinds of games. There are people... So, Diablo 4 is gonna make more money. And more people will play it, and it's easier for Diablo 4 to fit into somebody's day as an entertainment activity. Baldur's Gate 3 is... I think it's pretty easy to argue that it's a lot more profound. It tries to do more. It succeeds in doing more. It is a game that was... It's clearly made as an entertainment product because that's just how it exists. But there was artistic ambition in it beyond simply entertaining the audience. There's some of that in Diablo 4, but not a whole lot. It's a much more curated to be an entertainment product. So it really is just down to what people want and what they're looking for. The simple products that offer broad delights tend to sell more, and that just kind of logically makes sense. That's what Diablo 4 is. So I don't know. Yeah, I play Diablo to shut my brain off. Baldur's Gate is a game to really engage with. Exactly. Some people don't... this is something I didn't understand until I became an adult in the bad way. But sometimes your brain energy just gets used by things that are more important than entertainment. So, comparing the two is a bit tricky. How many copies of Diablo 4 have sold versus Baldur's Gate 3? There's no numbers for Baldur's Gate yet. All we have are visible Steam metrics, which are good. They're good for a game like that. But there's no comparison in sales, I guarantee you. Baldur's Gate 3 will be really lucky if it gets to 10 million. And that's a lot. That's really good. And hopefully the quality of it and the buzz around it will help it get there. But Diablo 4 has likely already passed that. Probably. With the way games sell nowadays. So we'll see. But yeah.
The sewers are lightly
also, it's on more platforms,
so...
so...
is clearly trying to take advantage of this in order to gain access to our headquarters.
Kind of hoping Baldur's Gate 3 will be this year's Elden Ring. In terms of quality, I think it's easy to see that's there. But I think even because of its game type, it is not even as widely enjoyable as Elden Ring.
The enemy force must be eliminated. We're counting on you to stop them in their tracks.
Baldur's Gate 3 had 2.5 million pre-sale copies before the whole bear lover thing. Well, do you mean early access?
The sewers is poor, so make sure your AC is outfitted appropriately.
That's the other thing, is like it's getting big numbers right now because it clicked over into 1.0, but that means that money's already been brought into the company and spent. So those aren't new sales. It's still good, don't get me wrong. The fact that Baldur's Gate 3 could get funded and made it all is amazing. And I'm very glad that it happened. But I really hope at some point in gaming enthusiast circles there's a reckoning, a true reckoning with the scale of money in gaming. And how things like Call of Duty and Diablo, anything made by Blizzard Entertainment, or Activision Blizzard as a company, it just doesn't play by the same rules as something like Baldur's Gate 3. And to expect, or to even compare the output of those companies when they're not even playing in the same ballpark is a bit strange. But the thing is, I think a lot of people want to connect games' monetary performance with their objective artistic values. And that's a little too capitalist-pilled, to be honest. I think what the desire is that good games get rewarded with money so that there's more good games like that. Here's the problem, though. If good games make too much money, they cease to be good games. Because then again, they don't play by the same rules anymore. So it's one of those be careful what you wish for kind of things, I think. Yeah, Dragon Age. I mean, Dragon Age Origins was essentially the last BioWare game.
Units are moving in.
Look at the track record of BioWare over the aughts. I think almost in microcosm, you can see it happen. Dragon Age Origins was the last great game that BioWare made. The last game that had ambition and actually seek to really encourage, react to, and just embrace player interactivity. You forget that BioWare made Baldur's Gate? Yeah, I mean, it's utterly fitting. Baldur's Gate 3 is in the style and made with the same spirit and ambition as something like Dragon Age Origins.
They're nearing the perimeter.
For a long time, games couldn't really be made like that. They just didn't make enough money. Oh, I'm supposed to... Stop all the little spider bots. Oh, that was close, I think. So wait a minute. I wasn't paying attention to the briefing at all. You gonna finish Baldur's Gate 3? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. In a game like Baldur's Gate 3, finishing is a little arbitrary. It's mostly just a world that you like play around in. If you're in a D&D campaign, what is finishing? I guess it's when the DM decides the story's over. Are you getting the Power Rangers outfit in 14 tomorrow? We hope Dreadwolf will give us back the BioWare we love. Stop. Do not. No.
Let's scout the area and see if it's secure.
Give up on Dreadwolf now. I promise. The only reason they announced it was because they needed to hire for it, which is bad. We haven't heard a thing about it because they're paralyzed. They don't have the staff anymore. I don't know. This is all just an outside enthusiast looking in. I'm telling you, Dragon Age Origins was the last BioWare game because once they had, like, I guess EA demanded that they ship games every like 18 months, which led to things like Dragon Age 2, which I still can't believe people like. Wow. There's some things in like gaming history where I'm just like, holy shit. Dragon Age 2 was one of the most insulting games ever released. It's just the total antithesis of everything Dragon Age Origins was. But people, I think, just didn't have the... crap.
The perimeter was breached.
Oh... Did that fail it?
Too many units got by. The mission failed.
Mass Effect 2 is also top tier? So they made Dragon Age Origins, right? And it didn't sell nearly enough to justify making more games like that. So that's when the selling out starts happening. If you want to get funded by EA, you got to start making compromises. Now, a very principled compromise was Mass Effect. It's had guns, but let's try to keep it an RPG. People didn't like that. Or they liked it more when it was less of an RPG. So it became less of an RPG. And then by Mass Effect 3, the storyline was nothing but... I mean, I've gone over this 100 times, but it just baffles me that these arcs can happen, and companies don't get villainized for, like, giving up on any artistic principles in their games. What you call selling out, I call finally making a fun game.
Prevent the enemy force from breaching the defense perimeter.
What people have fun with... I don't know. If you consider the only point of video games to just like have fun for a while, then yeah. Then I guess the game got better for you. But the same could be said of movies and music. It's just weird that those principles don't apply in movies and music, and maybe that's better. It's less pretentious. I guess what gets me, this is the core of it, is the people who think that they're part of like high level, the people that think they're real gaming enthusiasts actually aren't, because all they want is entertainment. They just like video games, but they don't actually think about them in terms of like form and craft. And I'm not singling anyone out in chat, but I'm pretty much saying if you like Dragon Age 2, you're not really thinking of games critically, which is fine. You don't have to. But yeah, that game sucks. That game's an insult. It's, man. Okay, so let's imagine that they made Baldur's Gate 4, all right? But it's first person and it has guns. And the levels are all hallways and there's no dialogue. How would you feel? Wouldn't that be weird?
See if it's secure.
And it's like all very male gays. Like all the chicks are mega hot. And it's just like, oh my god. Oh, you have the tadpole of power. Nice. That means you can shoot laser guns out of your hands. Wow. Wow, player. That tadpole in your eye really makes you sexy all of a sudden.
Watch it. There's still
Oh,
more
but
of
we
them
can't
out
have sex
there.
because I have exactly one very obvious character flaw.
They're nearing the perimeter. Check your targets. They're nearing the perimeter.
Anyway. Nearing the perimeter. Baldur's Gate 3 is great. No, we're not bashing Baldur's Gate 3. We're loving it. I'm just glad people finally have taste. I'm so glad. It took a while. Basically, my rant is that Baldur's Gate 3 picked up the BioWare mantle, but BioWare like threw it in the gutter, and people couldn't be happier when they did it. But now, like, everybody's like, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers.
Area secured. Let's head out.
But they're here now. That's good. They're here now, and there's enough of them.
Raven, Vertex has an urgent request.
There's enough of them to sell games to.
They want help shooting down an air transport.
Ooh, if Chess finally got a sequel. Yum yum yum. Had the complexity of Connect 4. I see what you mean. Yeah, Dragon Age to Origins to Dragon Age 2. So in a vacuum, Dragon Age 2 is okay. It's a pretty mindless action RPG, which calling it Dragon Age and giving it mindless combat is the fucking wrongest thing in the world. But whatever. It was a dumb era for video games, so now Dragon Age combat is dumb. Fine. But also it had no content, and I understand that there were like, I think, what is it? Laidlaw said he had 18 months to ship Dragon Age 2. After shipping Origins, a game that probably took 5 to 6 years, and that was back in the 2010s. You could feel it. The game had a ton of stuff in it. But now it's like you gotta flip the lowest effort, fastest game. And they did it. I don't know how, but they did it. I guess he wanted to keep his job, but it's just the antithesis of everything. Yeah, fucking Mass Effect 3. Everyone points to these meaningless examples that games media is worthless, but the fact that Mass Effect 3 won any Game of the Year awards should be it.
Head to the terminal's upper
Should have
level
been it.
if you're interested
But no,
in
the
assignment.
thing is, though, they're all on board with that. That's the thing. They think they're like the elite gamers who have ironclad taste, but really all they want to do is get intubated and fed calories. That's it. And if the people that want that could understand that, then all of these conversations would just evaporate. Did Mass Effect 3 win stuff? Oh yeah. Yeah, it was celebrated. Everybody's like, oh, beautiful Mass Effect 3, oh. It had a freaking track from Clint Mansell. They contracted Clint Mansell to do the title track. I was thinking about that today. Like, what an insult to his talents. I wonder how that conversation went. They get him, and he's like, okay, so what themes are we working with? And they're like, oh yeah, so you're this bald guy or girl. You gotta save the galaxy from these aliens, and there's love, and you can like bang aliens and stuff. You got a laser hand. And he's like, oh, okay. Here I was thinking there'd be like complexity. Yeah. Could you work the sexy brain tadpole into the score somewhere, like a little 3 randomly added an IGN employee as a main character? Wait. You're referring to Chobot. She wasn't bad, actually. I don't think it was that random. I thought she was actually pretty good in Mass Effect.
Will attempt an emergency landing
Freddie Prinze
shortly.
Jr. was in Mass Effect 3? But on like the most contained, canned, sterile conversation. Yowza. I just remember all the conversations. It was just like one-on-one convos with nothing going on. By Mass Effect 3. That's another cool thing about Baldur's Gate 3. There's more like NPCs cross-interacting and reacting to things. Yeah, that shit takes time. When EA needs that money. What really kills... I guess the exact moment was when BioWare sold to EA. That's when everything was bad. But now EA is good again and going to publish Immortals of Avium, which I'm actually really excited about because that's the exact kind of game that would have been Game of the Year like 10 years ago. It's got like a dude with an undercut and a magic hand, and it's first person, and I think there's dragons and shit. As long as there's like a cutscene that brings the energy down just a little bit. We just need one of those.
The transport is on final approach.
So do I gotta shoot the hold on. I was not paying attention at all to this at all. Stork enters from the east. I guess I have to shoot down the transport before it lands. Fuck, this music is hot.
Destroy it before it can touch down.
Cast it into the fire! Destroy it! Oh, what's refreshing to me is that Baldur's Gate 3 is truly an adult game, not a game that's for adults. I was thinking about that, Tomatoey Squirts.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
Nice work, Raven.
The ubiquity of, well, not ubiquity is a strong word, but the casual inclusion of sexual content of any kind. When it's not the boink boink moment of the game, or it's not a prize you have to unlock. I don't know. Reads very European, but also adult. The fact that that adult doesn't mean it's only bad. Also, that there's moments of quirk and relatability and strangeness, just weirdness that has no explanation because the the artistic experience is weird. Yeah, usually unattainable in gaming media. Well, yeah. Good writing has not A, been in demand, or B, been very marketable. There just hasn't been an audience for games that are written well. The games that are written well tend to have cult followings of people that recognize those things, but they're not things that most gaming audience cares about. Let's see here. Well, it seems as though Vertex is doing a pretty fair job of fending off Alliance's attempts to launch assaults in Cirque City. Anyway. Sorry, got on some shit. Headless Music, thanks for the sub. What I need to do, I need to screen the negativity out of my pretense. I can be pretentious. And that may give me perfect sight to declare others being hypocrites. But that doesn't mean I should. Oh, okay. I guess that's what no read means. Yeah, Baldur's Gate is cool. We can just leave it there. Would you say the attention that Baldur's Gate is receiving is because of the penis and vagina show and less about the writing? And not saying it's those games' fault. No. Well, yeah, that's marketing in general. You always got to get people looking at you somehow. And the question is whether or not you can keep them looking at you, just in terms of being an entertainment product. But yeah, I guess you can make great art and then shove it in your closet. You still got to get people to look, though. And if ringing a bell and telling people to look over here invalidates the art, not saying you were saying that. I'm just thinking through it in my own head. I'm looking at it through the lens of my own pretense in terms of differentiating artistic merit from commercial viability. Yeah, I don't know, Keyboard Cowboy. I wonder. It's so in games media circles, any like, well, that's the thing. I don't really see the numbers on that. Like, if I could see page view hits on blogs, because I bet it's like orders of magnitude different. Like, let's say a viral article gets seen or shared 20,000 times. I don't know if that's the true scope of how online media works. I just wonder, like, those beats are good, and it certainly is free advertising and stuff, but I do wonder how many sales that actually contributes to in the grand scheme of things, especially when you're talking millions of sales. keep hearing great things about you, Raven. Jack O just recently mentioned what a capable pilot you are. He even suggested that you might be a dominant. Personally, I find that hard to believe, but Jack will know that I am a true dominant once I kill you. We'll meet soon, Raven. In Final Fantasy. I'm just checking the no reads. Oh, here we go. Evangel's acting a little weird. Okay, so if I'm... Okay, this is interesting. If I take the missions that make Jack O realize that I'm hot shit, then Evangel gets really jealous and tries to kill me. That's how this goes? I like it. Alright, protect reactor core. Yeah, this isn't anything.
There are less than 12 hours to go before we...
Seems pretty straightforward. People have been using sexual content as bait. Is it H-U-H-H because that's the sound you make when you see sexual content? That's also probably because of younger demographics and immaturity. It is. And I definitely think that, especially like United States culture has a very particular relationship with sex and media that makes those kinds of techniques work on younger people. When the media that younger people watch is completely sanitized of sexual content. I'm not saying whether or not this is right or wrong. And maybe this is a can of worms I shouldn't be digging into. Like, this is a real sensitive topic, just in general these days.
Destroy the targets before they reach the ventilation.
Let me put it like this. Again, I gotta not speak on behalf of others and just speak on behalf of myself. As somebody who was raised in a very, like...
No room for error. Stay focused.
Conservative, religious kind of situation, sex was the most, like...
Keep them away from the openings.
Taboo, exotic, enticing, mysterious thing. And if I had a little square in my pocket that constantly teased me with that kind of stuff, it would definitely like get my attention whether I wanted it to or not. Wait, inside? What are you talking about?
We've been overrun. The call is going critical.
I didn't even see where they were.
It's too dangerous. We have to leave.
So yeah, I think that
Mission failed. System switched to normal.
I think you can draw a neat parallel between the content techniques that YouTubers and now TikTokers resort to capture the attentions of children and the design elements that pervade games through their decades. Now, people will say that a lot of those presumptions, and a lot of them are presumptions, especially like in the 90s and aughts, were straight down pretty...
The enemy has dispatched a contingent of unmanned units to destroy the reactor.
It was done by gender norms, pretty much. There were assumptions about the gaming audience and the marketability of the gaming audience. So, how much does King of the Hill resonate with you? Quite a bit. Yeah, no, Mike Judge has lived in a Texas town and understands it. Although it's often the more charming side of it. There's a lot of like heart of gold
before they reach the ventilation openings.
in King of the Hill that isn't necessarily always there in real life. Yeah,
There's no room for error.
I always thought it was fun because when King of the Hill first started airing, where the fuck
Keep
are
them away
they?
from the openings.
What are you talking about? Do I have to go inside? I can't even target them. Are they on this, like... What?
Another one made it in.
Fuck off!
We've been overrun. The core is going critical.
What is with this mission?
It's too dangerous. We have to leave.
Mission failed. System switched to normal mode.
Sorry, Raven. Please head back to base.
But yeah, when it first came on the air, I didn't understand where the jokes were. I remember, like, I didn't get it for a long time. It wasn't funny to me because it was just outside. I remember, like, at the time, I would chat with people on ICQ, and I remember I'd met somebody that lived in Canada, I think through playing games online, and they talked about how much they loved King of the Hill, and I was like, really?
Destroy
so
the targets
weird.
before they reach the ventilation openings.
Oh. Okay.
Second
There's
tenant
no
was
room for
approaching.
error. Stay focused.
Where the fuck? Wait.
Third enemy wave approaching.
How do they enter the map? What the heck? Oh, okay. I guess they just crawl up.
Fourth enemy wave approaching.
They jump? I see.
Fifth enemy wave approaching.
All targets have been eliminated.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal
Good
mode.
surprise from Texans that King of the Hill has mass appeal because it's such a Texas-centric show. Yeah, it did. I mean, it didn't make sense to me when I lived there, but now that I've moved away, it makes sense. It makes a lot more sense. And yeah, all those archetypes are kind of there, but they're the most, like I think people in chat were saying, they're the absolute most charming version of that person. But yes, there's always that person. Yeah, somebody was saying, what is it? Cotton is the most real character. Yeah, and I think for the sake of the show, like it works out well. It really does. I mean, really, the 3 generations of Hills there are all really spot on, especially for the time period that show was coming out. You had the salty old asshole, and Texas is filled with salty old assholes. Texas kind of attracts people that like suffering. I think it might be like part of the immigrant culture that moved there. There's a lot of Polish in Texas. Anyway, I don't really know about the history of Texas aside from it being on the wrong side of choosing to be on the wrong side of some very important historical issues. So yeah, you've got that. You've got the guy in the middle who's like trying to is a hard worker, trying to do the right thing, was raised in a particular kind of culture, and maybe doesn't live it every day, but still like kind of has it in them. And since they're kind of caught in the middle of these two generations of transition, don't really identify with either, kind of struggles to have a strong relationship with dad, struggles to have a strong relationship with kid. And the kid, Bobby, is a weirdo, but like a simple, good, fun, loving weirdo. Probably grew up with the internet. So despite being in a small town, got exposed to things that are more true to themselves and didn't have to go off to war and kill those things off. So you have a, like what essentially is kind of a monoculture, and somebody inside of it that is growing up a little outside of that monoculture. So they don't fit in at all, and they're trying to figure out what their place in the world is, even if they know it's not there. So yeah, you identify heavily with Bobby. I remember when the show came out, I didn't really like show tunes. Like, he's a very vaudevillian kind of guy, and I had my run in drama club and stuff like that. But I wasn't like I wasn't quite as theatric as Bobby, but the awkward body shape and kind of just not fitting into any friend group. Definitely that. I mean, Bobby's friend group is kind of a group of outcasts, but that just makes them endearing. Yeah, he was a theater kid for sure. I'll say this, King of the Hill was way more diverse than my existence in Texas. Yeah, loved Peggy and her unerring confidence. Yes. And I've known a lot of strong Texas women like Peggy, for sure. Right down to the, like, Yo quiero dinero, the utterly whiteified Spanish. Yeah, that's one of those where, like, but they make a mean brown Betty. Didn't have neighbors from Laos? No. My neighbor was a judge, and he had a very big and impressive house that I was not allowed to go over too much because they had a Super Nintendo. I was very jealous. But like, yeah, I mean, I was a weird kid, and they had kids too, but were kind of older, so when I went over, I just got bullied. I was definitely not cool to hang out with. I was like, you know, it's that thing where I was like 6 or 7, and they were like 12. So it just wasn't going to work. All right, eliminate targeted Raven. Crap. These can be the rough ones. This is the one I got to do. But it's only 80. Oh, you've been engaging in Dreamcast gaming. How's that been going? Ooh, Metropolis Street Racer and Hydro Thunder? Man, I put so much time into Metropolis Street Racer.
This traitor betrayed us by providing the enemy with classified information.
I guess that, like, there was the Tokyo Extreme Racers, and then of course Project Gotham. There were the games that kind of turned racing games into an RPG. Those were so good.
It seems he got cold feet after learning about our upcoming attack.
I'm curious
He's a liability.
what the layout of Forza Motorsport is going to be.
Eliminate him at once.
I say that, but I haven't even played Gran Turismo 7. I gotta start that one of these days. Now that the movie's in theaters. Although I read a pretty middling review of it from Eurogamer. Man. Again, maybe that's why I'm in such a pretentious mood, as I just read a review from Eurogamer. I was like, man, they have such eloquent ways to describe things. They put in the effort for all my sim racing gizmos to work with it? I think so. You mean on PC?
Engaging combat mode.
Target sighted. Take him out.
You betrayed us. That can't be forgiven.
Enemy AC detected.
There's 2.
Warning.
Your time is up.
Kind of overheat him.
Enemy blade parts down. Enemy core down.
I lost my head. Whoa! That one hurt.
Raven, come in.
Yeah, it's basically Project Gotham 0.5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really enjoying Bizarre Creations' run on Project Gotham, and then they even made freaking Geometry Wars.
Jacko has ordered this.
What's up, a drunk man? Yeah, Blur. Rest in pepperonis. Good soundtrack too. I really liked that one album from Crystal Method.
Main system.
All right, let's try the back gun.
Target sighted. Take him
Still
out.
don't think I've looked up what the alternate fire mode for the linear cannon is.
You betrayed us. That can't be forgiven.
He's got the same
Enemy's
gun.
core part down.
I'm not finished yet.
Did I miss? I missed. Fuck. Yeah, he's got me. He missed too many shots.
No, this can't be.
Don't worry, I'll get him. Just gotta get used to his rhythm so I can tag him with this. Yeah, I played Original Sin 2. Not very much, though.
Jacko has ordered the assassination.
It's triangle. I'm not betraying anybody.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
You're the betrayer,
Target sighted.
buddy.
Take him out.
You're the betrayer here, pal.
You betrayed us.
Oh!
That can't be
Starting
forgiven.
well. I thought if I got closer, I could hit him with more shots.
Your time is up.
Yeah, this guy's good.
Raven, please respond.
What rule set was Original Sin 2 on? Also, the Pathfinder games
Jacko is
have been pretty strong CRPG experiences. I played was it War of the Righteous or whatever, the most recent one? Again, for like 4 or 5 hours, and I was like, damn, this is the shit. And then just didn't go back to it.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
Target sighted. Take him out.
You betrayed us. That can't be forgiven.
Enemy core part damaged. Core part damaged. Enemy AC learning.
Yes.
Enemy AC destroyed.
You did it.
I did it.
Mission objective achieved. System switched to normal mode.
Good work. It's so odd. He made it sound like you were the traitor.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
I'll ask Ed to look into it.
I'll put my top man on it. Rank S. If Bolt was in fact a traitor, then taking him out before you could join forces with Alliance makes sense. Something about what he said doesn't fit with what you were told, though. No read. We have a traitor in our midst. I'm still waiting to see the results of the final report, but I'm confident in the fact that there is no mistake. I'd like you to be the one to do away with the traitor. There's no need to show any mercy, just be quick about it. I expect your best work. Trusts me. Oh, DOS2 really wants you to murder Hobo because XP is so sparse? Oh, man. That's one thing I did notice about Baldur's Gate 3 is on the medium difficulty, you actually can roll through the game okay. At least I haven't had to... Like, I feel like the hallmark of CRPGs in the past has been survivability. You have to really scrape and claw to get through the first 10 or 15 hours, and it makes your journey in the world feel earned. Like, I dissociated that heavily with, like, Eye of the Beholder and Fallout. Even Ultima, I guess, if that kind of counts. It's kind of different, but... Dan XXX6, hello. Howdy, howdy. Okay, eliminate Sorcerer.
There's a raven I want you to eliminate. It's still hard to believe that someone I had so much respect for could betray me at this most critical time.
Sounds like he's balanced and on the level.
There's no doubting his guilt, though. He must be punished.
Pillars 1 start is real rough, yeah. I think actually Baldur's Gate 1 probably has the harshest takeoff of any CRPG I've played.
I'm sure he believes his actions are justified, but he also knows the consequences he must face. Don't fail me, Raven.
Oh, Blargarific, it was very well received. Don't get too put off of Divinity Original Sin 2. But I do think part of the joy over Original Sin 2 was just that nobody made those games. Nobody even tried for like 10 years. Unless, yeah, you count Pillars of Eternity.
Main system.
There was probably something out of Eastern Europe.
Destroy the enemy AC.
We got hops.
It's him. Kill the traitor.
Boy, I think I might have gotten lucky killing this guy before.
What's going on?
I knew that timing.
Enemy AC
jumping beam.
Core part down.
I don't remember how I killed this guy. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just gave... No, I had to do it because it was part of the other...
Warning.
Yeah, I guess Wasteland 3. Underrail? Shadowrun Returns. There were some, but they were very sparse and pretty constrained in scope. I can't look at this dude. Maybe I gotta try the other one. Try the other build. Get him with missiles.
Please respond.
Oh, Derek, it is early in the day, so my camera hasn't overheated yet. We'll see what happens.
There's a rate.
Water cool your camera. I wonder if I like took apart the housing, and I don't know which part is overheating or where the thermometer is, but yeah.
Main system.
If I took off the housing and like pointed a fan at it, that'd probably help.
Destroy the enemy AC.
Hit the button right.
It's him. Kill the traitor. It's me, Jack. What's going on?
Enemy AC detected. AC Banshee identified. Machine weapon launched. Close range combat is to be avoided. Core part down.
God damn this fucking guy.
Warning.
Is that the best you can do?
Enemy's core part down. Leg parts down.
Ugh, god damn. Turn fast enough. I don't even know how close I got. I don't even know if those missiles were hitting him. This is definitely one of those bosses that like just flies away from the center of your cursor all the time and will randomly change direction too. So it's like you have to like get far enough away that the lateral motion doesn't get him out of your box, your like lock-on box, but then it's just in an arbitrary square
Combat mode.
in the center of the goddamn desert.
Destroy the enemy AC.
It's him. Kill the traitor. It's me, Jack. What's going on?
Enemy AC detected. AC Banshee identified. Machine gun weapon launched. Close range combat is to be avoided.
Ah, Jesus Christ! I can't stay away from him!
Core part down.
Does Twitch charge more for subs through mobile? Yes. That's because platform holders, typically Apple, charge extra. So they pass the Apple tax on to you.
Danger. AC at 10%. Leg parts down.
How do I kill this guy? Fuck. Oh. Well, Derek. Thank you for paying the Steve Jobs tax. Appreciate that. And gifting 5 subs. Oh, it's on Android? Okay, never mind. I guess it's just on all mobile. Yeah, it's just a weird practice. that I think like app companies started inflating their prices because they realized they didn't have to pay it, so now we have to pay everyone along the chain. Isn't that fun? You have to pay Twitch and Apple/Google just to pay me a little bit. Isn't that fun? Isn't that cool? And then part of the money that I get also goes to the US government, so that's great. Super cool. Love it. I mean, I guess we get to enjoy services. Theoretically, those companies are providing services along the way. App providers, not so much. They actually just created an environment. But I guess we do have to pay the utilities, right? Gotta pay Twitch or Amazon for streaming the video. None of the money Google or Apple get goes to the government. Maybe some of it. Doesn't feel like it though, does it? Otherwise they might leave, and then none of the money we get from them will go somewhere else. All right, let me see if I can overheat him. I'll try hitting him with a linear hands here.
Destroy the enemy AC.
It's him. Kill the traitor.
It doesn't help that the whole fucking stage is gray. So it's actually really hard to tell where the ground is. This motherfucker keeps jumping. Okay, I think he's overheated finally.
Enemy AC detected. Enemy core part damage.
It's not over yet.
Good. How's it feel being on the ground, dickwad?
Warning. AC at 50%.
Why?
Ooh, okay.
Enemy AC destroyed.
I work in banking, and the deeper I get into large corporation structures and taxes, it's all a sham.
Mission
Yep.
objective achieved. System switch.
Yep.
to normal.
You just have to make like a maze that's too
We only
time
need
and
those
cost
who are
prohibitive to
truly
try to
civil.
figure out. That's the game. You have to outspend the IRS. I don't know. I worked in banking a little bit too. I worked in a life reinsurance company. So yeah, finance is all fucked up. It's aggravating because like there are always attempts to I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much. It just makes me sad. Money can buy advertising, can convince people to vote for things. And it's really just rich people convincing stupid people to give them more money. But hey, people get the society they deserve, right? This last assignment seems like it was a very foolish move on Vertex's part. They're a much smaller organization than Alliance and really cannot afford to do away with their members. There's no evidence that a sorcerer was a traitor. What is Jack up to? Yeah, sorry, Walter. I'm getting into all kinds of thoughts today. No, I'm done with it. We're just talking about video games. I guess we should focus on the fact that there are many wonderful, beautiful, delicious video games to be enjoyed. The system may have its faults, but at least it makes a lot of video games for us. Launch preemptive strike. The next one. Okay.
We've recently noticed an increased level of Alliance activity at the old corporate headquarters site. Our declared
Let's talk
time
about our
of
favorite
attack is
political video
quickly
games.
approaching. The enemy's probably looking
There
to
aren't
execute
any.
some sort of last-ditch plan.
The only political video games are The Last of Us Part 2, and it is bad because of politics. I prefer my games to be politic-free, like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
We want you to launch a preemptive strike against the forces assembling at the facility. This mission carries a great deal of risk. The exact strength and composition of the enemy force is not known. Please prepare accordingly.
I like my media free of politics, like Star Wars.
Main system.
Just a movie about a man and a sword. Can't read into that.
Forces.
Hold your position.
Took the wrong mech. Yeah, apolitical gems like Andor. Finally, a series that's just about getting laid. Star Wars needs to do a like road trip.
We're outgunned.
Let's get our buddy laid space comedy. I guess that's kind of what the Energy Solo was trying to
Other
have.
choice.
There needs to be a stuffy general that like
Deploy the
loses
Leviathan.
the spaceship race at the end and gets like a face full of intergalactic pie. What the fuck? Oh. Zack Attack, thanks for the sub. Yeah. Come to relax and play the apolitical game Civilization 6. Yes, an 80s ski movie, but about pod racing. Exactly. Exactly.
What is that thing?
Hey, the massive MT's back. Look at this guy. Well, I guess I did bring the right neck. Maybe. I'm gonna have to shoot that fucker down, aren't I? Isn't this the one that I had to hide
Watch
behind the wall
yourself,
for?
Raven.
No, that one was even bigger.
Signature detected. Cannot identify.
Oh, it's got jamming. Oh, and the enemies are still out here? Let's see. Ah! Shit. Jeez. Fucking Christ. This sucks,
Core part
dude.
damage. Right pawn damage.
Man,
Hit part damage.
the game's challenge is just like, we're just gonna turn off your abilities. And flip them off like a light switch. Fuck!
At a 10%.
Raven, please respond.
Well, maybe some of my parts got mushed. No, doesn't look like it.
This.
It's cloudy today. Hope that means it's not gonna be as hot. I mean, the camera hasn't overheated yet, so that's good.
Take out the enemy forces.
Hold your position. We're outgunned.
Send him in.
There's no other choice. Deploy the Leviathan.
Are those tanks even dying? What's going on?
Energy signature detected. Cannot identify.
Like one clean side.
Warning. AD at 50%.
God damn it! Fuck off! God, this sucks! Ah!
AD at 10%.
That's it. Oh! Where the fuck did he go?
Raven, please respond.
This sucks so much. Maybe I can put the... So I think once the dude spawns, yeah, maybe I can use the shields. So I'll have to like basically hide for him to fly over. I need a better, I really need a better radar for this, but I can't, like I need my backhand and there's really nothing else that's gonna work with this.
We've recently...
Let's try this. So I basically just have to like track where he is at all times, but I have to do it visually because he keeps blocking my fucking radar. But also there's a lot of visual clutter.
Engaging combat mode.
Take out the enemy forces.
We're outgunned. There's no other choice. Deploy the Leviathan.
They keep spawning. What the fuck? Stop it.
Powerful energy signature detected. Cannot identify.
Oh, he's there. Okay. I think all of the... Can't turn around fast enough to capitalize. Ah! What the fuck? Why are you there? Oh! Oh, man. Okay.
Warning. AD has been...
Fucking shit, that hurts so much! Ah, damn! He shoots all these missiles while it's going away. Okay. What the fuck? I can't.
No, this can't be.
Maybe if I go out to one of the... I just use the wall? Yeah, Walter, that's pretty much the design ethos of this game. Any mission that was like remotely fair, they just go in and they're like, what player abilities can we just disable? The missiles don't hurt too much, but it has this massive laser that does like 3,000 damage.
Engaging combat mode.
Take out the enemy forces.
Just some shit in the way. Come on, dude.
Don't give up. We're outgunned. There's no other choice. Deploy the Leviathan.
Powerful energy signature detected. Cannot identify.
Where is it? Ow. So he was curling around this way. I'll take it. Okay, we got something going here. Does he just do like a little figure eight? Will he be over here now? Oh, okay. He goes on the same track. Great. Ah! Oh, I hit him. I love predictability. An explosion.
Special weapon destroyed.
Hey!
The Leviathan was supposed to be invincible.
Dang. Not against a raven.
We've lost.
Horn blast it.
Take out any remaining targets.
We've lost. Yeah, these games go by a lot faster when you realize that since they don't hold themselves to any kind of like code of ethics about design, then it's just on you to like really look at an arena and figure out how can I cheese this shit as fast and effective as I can.
Alliance paid heavily today. Let's head out.
It's a different kind of approach to games, actually. It's more of a multiplayer mindset, weirdly. It's just like, what's victory condition and how can I get there using any means that I have? It's something that kind of tosses me up about multiplayer games, honestly, is I get too focused on trying to have the experience intended, a competitive back and forth experience, versus just winning, which is how you ought to play multiplayer games. I like multiplayer games with texture, and sometimes I'll back off of a victory if it feels like it just wouldn't be a satisfying match. No read. I see you've taken up sides with Vertex. I honestly thought both you and Evangel were better Ravens than this. Guess I was wrong. I don't want my name to go down in history, nor do I care what happens to this world. I just want to stay true to myself and be the best Raven I can. Man, Zenaida's got it figured out. Good for you, Zenaida. I prefer the older AC games when they had a sense of honor and decorum. A little bit. I think that they hadn't yet developed the techniques to be as trollish as they are. I think there was also some amount of restraint because you didn't have twin stick controls, but now that you do, I figured they would have to rebalance the difficulty, but the way they did that is by reducing ammo counts and making enemies, like changing enemy movement patterns to make them harder to shoot, which is fair, but they don't move in any kind of human way. It's just a bunch of noise fed into a movement algorithm that's always like trying to get away from your cursor. That's what it feels like. Okay, let's see here. Eliminate AC Intruder. Looks like this is the end of the Evangel route. This mission request has been issued by Vertex and involves eliminating an AC Intruder in the area under Cirque City. They think it's Evangel. Go find out for sure.
An unknown target has entered the facility located beneath Cirque City. We have unconfirmed reports that this target is in fact Evangel. If this is the case, it means his true loyalties are actually to Alliance. After their last defeat at our hands, Alliance headquarters has been steadily pulling back their forces.
Oh, interesting. I've been having a weird argument like that in my Discord where we're playing the sports game and kind of like Rocket League, except you can kill people way more frequently, and that always pisses me off when people just focus on that aspect even though it was evenly put into the game.
A single
oh
AC
yeah.
unit isn't going to change the time.
Not standing on the cart
We have
situation.
no idea what Evangel might be up to.
Okay, State Thunder. Thanks for that gamer stretch redemption there. I could use one. As usual, my shoulders feel a little tight, so I'm gonna stretch out on the back of the chair here. like that one because they get a little calf stretch too.
In any case, we know he is not to be trusted. It's time for him to be removed from the picture. Our vision of a new world order is close at hand.
We don't trust Evangela. In my mind, it feels like some characters are less designed to be fun and win, and more just to stop other people from having fun.
This is probably your last battle. Promise me you'll come back alive.
Team games get so complicated, both in their design. Oh, low helicopter. Their design, and then how you motivate each player to keep them focused on the right task. I think actually Exoprimal is a really good balance of giving people meaningful but one-dimensional tasks to do. Just beat up all the dinosaurs. And then only at the very end are there like a handful of very consequential team engagements.
I guess there's only one way to help you understand then.
But you don't... It is kind of like two competitive games smashed together, which is a bit unfortunate. But, ow, fuck. I'm trying to see if I can overheat him. I probably won't be able to, though. He's got the moonlight. Of course he does. Ooh. Are you, dog? Oh, I died.
Come in.
Can't compete with people who spend day and night playing the same game for months on end? No, you can't. And theoretically, matchmaking should prevent you from being put in that situation. But yeah, it's tough. Speaking of, I want to get back into Street Fighter. I got a set of new buttons for my stick, so now I combined Drive Impact and everything to buttons. Drive Rush, I can have them on buttons.
Engaging combat buttons.
He really did betray us.
Oh,
Take him down.
I can't be losing.
Enemy AC detected. Core bar down. Warning.
How can this be?
oh no, he jumped.
Down.
That might be it. Yes. World's dumbest. Thank you for the sub.
It's ironic, isn't it?
There's got to be a phase 2. A bigger Evangel's gonna like claw out of the body.
Turned out to be the weaker one.
Having a little heart to heart. Oh, we got to team up to fight a bigger robot?
Get in. I'll take care of things here.
Oh, Omega Strikers? Okay. Player base of less than 3,000 people a day, so it's either people who've been playing since the beta or literal children.
Let's go find out what awaits us.
Please let there be a refilling checkpoint. The absolute longest way around. I remember this.
It's time. This is it.
Ah, hospicing an old pet? Aw. Tough moments, but that's life. You can use this time to, yeah, like you said, provide peace and calm and...
This must be what Evangel was trying to reach.
I'm kind of scared to get a pet because I'm afraid of the loss, to be honest. I know that that's like decades away depending on what pet I get. I think I went through a period of like Emotional
Those
hibernation.
devices on the wall.
Oh, well, we got mechanics.
I think they're power sources.
I don't think I did this before. Yeah, and look at all the drones flying through.
There's no time to waste. Destroy them all.
You got it.
Hit like that.
All right.
5 targets remain. 4 targets remain. 3 targets remain. Danger, 80 out of 10%. 2 targets remain. 1 target remaining.
Ugh, God, the aim in this is so fucking weird. Sorry. It's like, usually in a twin stick shooter, you kind of, if you don't have aim down sight,
Shutdown confirmed.
you use your left stick for fine tune, right? You strafe left and right to kind of get it to zone in.
We have to
But
believe
in this
it's
game,
over.
strafing left and right makes the camera kind of pitch around the square. So, anyway. But yes, I'm glad that my gaming and ranting on that was it. Okay, my gaming and ranting online can give you some distraction. I definitely know the value of distraction from some of the moments of loss I've had to go through. It can be nice going back to something familiar. Yeah, I want to get a rat, but they only live for like 2 years, and I know I'm gonna love them. Squishy little dude. I had chinchillas, but actually they've moved closer to me now. But now I feel weird about. I need to go over and see them. Rats are chinchillas that live for a really long time and never develop affection for you. I love how melancholy this music is. Alright, well, that's half of the endings. We've got the Leviathan route, Pulverizer route number 2, and then the Zenaida route. I like Zenaida's statements. I don't give a shit about any of this. I'm just gonna do what I think is right. Also, I think Zenaida got ass. Let me check. Maybe an ant farm for a pet? I don't think I'm creepy enough to be ant farm guy. Although ant farms would be cool. Okay. That's 3 out of 6 endings secured. We're gonna get back to this later. But now, it's time to play Baldur's Gate 3 with Bruce. He's gonna drop in to the save that I had going yesterday. So yeah, we get to go back and see Fat Jack Pistachio, as portrayed by Vin Diesel in Find Me Guilty, Baldur's Gate 3. I still have this thing, but it doesn't quite work right. I'm gonna have to write a script for it real quick. Oh, it's not on this scene. Well, you'll just have to wait and see what that is, though. Okay. I'll be back in a bit. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you're all having a good day so far, or at least your day's getting better. That's the best. That's a good target. All right, back in a bit. See you soon.